Yes, good morning. Thank you for coming on today. It's been a long time. Yes, I know it's the holidays and we're both very busy, so it's not easy, but I appreciate you taking the time to spend 5 minutes with me. Thank you. Yes, I did get that email from you this morning about whether I believe I speak for all Black people, quote unquote Black people, with this book. And I thought that was really a very, I don't know what the word is for that question, because obviously you know me very well and you know that I don't share those types of ideas. I don't believe in this sort of monolithic, you know, black monolith, white monolith. I don't even believe or understand anymore this black white dichotomy and this binary way of looking at people from European descent and African descent, or European origin or African origin. I mean, this black white thing for me is highly problematic and just totally ridiculous. But the idea that I or anybody could, you know, represent everybody who happens to have a similar hair texture that they have it's just it's just laughable, really. That in itself is problematic, but the notion that everybody who happens to be of African origin or European origin or Indian origin or South American origin or European or whatever, the notion that everybody in any of these various sort of macro groups uh, thinks exactly the same as everybody else on every single subject is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And and that's putting it politely, right? Um, but I think when it comes to people of African origin in particular, this monolithic expectation is really very pronounced. So you have a certain complexion and a certain texture hair, you are automatically this or that, or you're automatically not this or not that, whatever the case may be. So there's a certain type of music that you should like. Otherwise, you're trying to be somebody else. For example, you're trying to be white, or there's a certain way you should dress, or there's a certain way you should speak, or certain things you should like, certain places you should go or not go. The positives and the negatives are equally enforced by all people, including people of African origin, maybe particularly by people of African origin in some cases. And so the notion that, for me anyway, the notion, these notions are just, I don't know what to make of them. I've never lived my life by those rules. I don't live in that box. I don't live in that universe where I am a part of this monolith where everybody thinks the same way and agrees on all the same things. And, um, you know, so even with this, the notion that I speak for every single person who happens to be coded as black in the global society today it's just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay. um, People have different opinions, they have different ideas. I have a friend who told me straight up, you don't speak for me, right? You don't speak for me on this issue. And she's one of my best friends, and was I a little bit bruised by that? Yeah, but I respected her position nevertheless. People have their own opinions. Some people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to get involved. They feel it's finished, it's over, forget it. So what if it's difficult for some people in society economically? So what if people are getting discriminatedly, killed? So what if there's a disproportionate um, way that, or a disparate way people are treated in the criminal justice systems? So what if, people are profiled while driving or shopping or eating at a restaurant? Um, there are many people who believe that none of it has anything to do with any of this, and even if it does, they feel just forget about it and move on and live your life. And if you can't make it in spite of all those things, it's your fault, and it's not the fault of any of this. And I respect their position, of course. I don't speak for those people, obviously, right? I predominantly and primarily, I speak for myself, my own opinions on these issues, my own opinion and my own interpretation of the data and the facts. And I speak on behalf of these people who agree with my position. And yeah, they're all quote unquote dead, whatever that even means. I don't believe death is what we think it is. I think certainly the bodies of these people no longer exist, but I am not convinced that that is the end of our lives. I mean, I think that there is an awareness, and I think that there are relatives and family members of these people, some of whom will and do agree with my position. But not everybody agrees, and I don't expect everybody to agree. And no, I don't speak for everybody. I would never be so arrogant or presumptuous, or, I don't even know the word to make such an outrageous assumption. I mean, perhaps I don't even speak for the majority because, you know, everybody has their own sense of who they would like to speak on their behalf. My way is not for everybody. I have my own way of speaking and my own interpretation and my own ideas and my own way of looking at the facts and analyzing the data. And not everybody, you know, appreciates my way of doing it. Maybe I smile too much, maybe I'm not, I don't know, whatever that is that they want to speak on their behalf. And so that's perfectly fine. It doesn't shut me up. It doesn't stop me from having my own opinions and sharing those opinions. I feel personally and very profoundly that I was intended to write this book. It's not my usual style, as I have said on my book vlog, my Books by Marion T.D. Lewis Instagram page and my YouTube. It's not my usual style. I don't like to be serious all the time and stressed and I don't like this was something that was outside of me that I was meant to write, and I did. And I it's again my opinion, and if someone agrees, great, and if someone doesn't agree, it's okay. And if someone feels that I can speak on their behalf, great, and if they feel that I don't speak for them, okay. It's